the idea seems to be liked, and because there are translations of Serbian or Brazilian national literature in English, they, well, I won't say promised, but the idea is that they will be doing the same project with their own students. And schools as well. If anyone knows of schools that would be interested, or teachers that would be interested, we would be happy to know. Well, that's it from me. Of course, cultural exchange. Right? And yes, Joe said the magic word. It's all going to be on YouTube. Yeah. All right? I'll pass you over to Joe.
Yeah, I had a hard job to do.
Wonderful experience you had with the English.
Yeah.
Right?
Sounds good.
One more secret, just one secret I'm going to divulge just a bit, is besides the smiles, the great work we got from our C2, what we got as a result from one of her B2 students. It's music. And you'll be listening to it later.
Yeah.
Now, may I?
Yes.
Joe,
yes.
over to you.
Right. Hi, I'm Georgia. Well, when I came up with this idea to use translated Greek literature in the classroom, I had two questions. First of all, is it doable? Can I do it with students of different age groups or of different language levels? And the second one was, will I convince them? Well, can you imagine going into the classroom telling the students, oh, you know what, we're going to do a project about literature in English. It isn't so, they won't be so thrilled, I think. Well, yes, hooray, yes, like going on a trip to London. No, it's not like that. Well, they weren't excited, I must admit it. But then I tricked them a little bit, I must admit that. I used the magic word YouTube. Well, I told them, with your parents' consent, you will be filmed and the video will be uploaded on YouTube. Big smiles on their faces. Students, teachers around the world will see you. Wow, that's great. I want you to spread Greek literature into the world. That was it. Yes, yes, I'll do it. I'll spread the literature and Kavakis around the world. That was my secret. They were motivated and they went down to work from day one. Now, let's move on to the steps. Okay, for the younger ones, the 11-year-old pupils, primary school pupils, I used the seagull. I took it from their authority, from the Greek literature subject at school. I love this bird. I associated it with freedom, and I wanted to use it. The problem was that it wasn't officially translated. Here comes George. If it weren't for George, I wouldn't have even touched it. Translation is not my specialty. Okay, so it's all for George that I did. Okay, and then I consigned them to do the research. Okay, what do you know about elites? The next day, they came with wonderful 4 pages, printed. Yes, printed by from Wikipedia. Oh, that's excellent. Okay. Do you understand anything from that, from all this information? Well, you know, Miss Jo, yes, some things, some parts. Okay. Then I asked them some questions. I wrote them on the board. When was Elitis born? Is he still alive? Why is he famous? Do you know any other works from him? Okay. Oh, okay, and then, so we picked up the main information and we put it into a context. That's all that we did. The second step, would you? Yes. Well, they didn't know the poem, so let them listen to the song, which was turned into let them listen to the poem, which was turned into a song by Manolis Motronodakis and sung by Aphrodite Manu. You can find it on YouTube. And then I let them read the original text silently, on their own. I did that because I want them to get familiarized and feel confident. I didn't want to expose them to the English version right away. Okay, so they have some idea. And then I asked them, okay, do you like it? They said, yes, it's great. We like the language, we like the metaphors. All this information was in English. I did that in Greek. And I was surprised at the readiness and their ability to transfer their ideas, with my help, of course, from their mother tongue into English. Okay. Then I challenged them a little bit. I said, okay, imagine that you are reading this poem and you've got a friend from another country. They speak English, and they ask you, what are you reading? What would you tell them? Okay, so I want them to translate a little bit from the poem, as much as they could. Okay, I didn't expect much because it is a low level, A1 plus level, and they're young. But I put them into that role. Okay, so to translate, to transfer the meanings of the poem by Lidis. Right. Then it was, no, there's a, okay, right. And then it was the time, the moment of truth. I gave them the English version. We showed them that there are differences in structure. It's a poem is not like a text. Okay. And we also worked on vocabulary, and I explained to them that there are some Greek phrases that cannot be literally translated to English. For example, in the Greek poem, there is Minas Beni, Minas Geni. They said, okay, month comes in, month comes out. No, it's not like this. In English, they say that day in, day out. They wonder why, because this is the way. And they learned it, and they kept it in mind. They liked that. Then we went into depth. Okay, they evaluated the poem, wrote by my questions and prompts. For example, could you move? Yes. Describe the seeker's life. How does the bird live? What is the man afraid of? How would you like to live? Okay. And just before Christmas, it was time for them to prepare the presentation, and it was time for me to film them. It is my own challenge. I'm very bad at filming, I must admit it. They wrote their presentation, we worked on the text, we added them, and then we did the rehearsals. Finally, we made the video. For B2 level now, it's more, the procedure was more or less the same. For them, I chose Gavavi's poem as much as you can. It is translated, officially translated, so we got help from there. It was written a century ago. It is one of my favorite poems, and I want them to figure out for themselves what really matters in life. So I want them to think a little bit. However, there were some differences. For example, the questions aimed at deeper meaning. For example, why can't people have what they want? What's wrong with being part of the mass? What should people do to keep their dignity? They had the adequate language level and a higher critical thinking. And of course, with my part of my help, they did quite well. And now I urge them, encourage them to work in pairs and groups. So tried to keep the role of the facilitator, so they worked more independently. Another one was that another difference was that they tried to translate the whole poem. Their opus was proofread by George. I did that because it was a chance for me, an opportunity for me, to show them how to use dictionaries. How many times have you seen text written from them and they say, oh yes, I know what he means or she means, but it's not that right word. They should use another phrase. Okay, because they just pick up the first English meaning and they just put it in their context. It's not like this. They had to think. Are there differences? Okay. Then, finally, before the presentation, they arranged their presentation. They used and asked them to evaluate the whole process, the whole procedure. Did they have any impact on them? Did they like it? I didn't have to do much at that time, but then, when it was time for the rehearsal, I insisted on their reading aloud properly. I explained to them that their viewers wouldn't have anything written in front of them, so their speech should be articulate, comprehensible, and clear. Okay. How did they do that? Well, yesterday, Dimitris Primal said that we can use videos. I recorded them, I filmed them during their rehearsal, and then I let them watch their recordings. Okay, apart from their theatrical reactions, so Miss Jo cut it, I'm dreadful, ooh, I shouldn't wear this jumper again. Or, I should change my hairstyle. They had a chance to spot their weaknesses, okay, and improve their performance. That was it from me. So, what do you think they gained? What do you think they said? George, it's not that. I have finished, I'll take over now. What do you think they gained? What they have they practiced? All skills, especially reading, writing,
listening, speaking.
Mainly speaking. Yes. What other soft skills?
Work, going over their work.
Yes.
Teamwork.
And also discussion because they were arguing. All right. Okay. Yes.
All
Listen.
soft skills, proceeding, etc., etc.
Can I take over now?
Yes, please do. I'm not good with.
Yes. I realize that.
Native speaker skills.
Speakers, yes.
Native
Discussion.
skills. This is
Yeah.
what you would do if you were a native speaker. Because you're on a specific topic and
Exactly.
if you're not learning a topic, you're doing a topic.
This is the presentation. Two of them you already see here.
Yeah, and this is
we
your.
didn't get a photo of.
Which one is this?
Okay, he ran first.
Paschalis is
the whole
speaking
video-
publicly. He's right behind you, right?
Huh?
Over here.
Yes. Poor chap, you bring him in.
If you want to,
Wow.
and you could.
Yeah.
I'm just posing, well, the whole video is 20 minutes. It's too long, as you can understand. So you see here what you watch the kids, the teenagers, and the young adults tell you how they evaluated the poems and the text with George. Okay.
May I?
Yeah.
The music, because there was music all along during our sessions, and but the music here was chosen by a common friend,
Yeah.
and we share another love, jazz.
Yes, and he really helped me with the video because when he got all the pieces together, he looked at me and said, okay, what do you want me to do with that? And I said, okay, a miracle, maybe. And he said, okay, I'll try to do the best I can do.
He gave us more ideas about new projects because he is in another field. He is a teacher as well, but a completely another field. And you'll be hearing about it soon.
Okay, mystery.
True?
Yeah.
Not playing.
Today we present our project about the poem The Seagull by Odysseus Elitis.
I understand that humans must be free and they shouldn't make war. So something in this poem is conveys is the seagull's life and man's life. There are many reasons. The seagulls live with no fear, but people live with the fear of losing everything one day. So deep. From the poem I understand that seagull's life is much better than people's life. Seagulls are always free and they don't care about wars. People aren't free and they must take
What's
care
a what
of
plus?
them. So Yanni, I agree that the seagulls travel in seasons free and never make war. And because the seagull lives in life and takes very seriously to protect them. On the next system, we cut, we take more. So, I understand that the seagull is a symbol of freedom, and the world of seagull is friendlier than the man's world.
This is big
The
too.
goal of our project is to present needs of our national heritage. We use English as the means of our communication. In presenting Gavafi's poem, as nice as you can.
About the poem I read.
Please keep this person in mind. Speaking. They're all very good, but keep this person in mind.
Avoid the consequences with people who don't offer us anything to develop ourselves. Also, he should try to be special and not to be an individual. What's your opinion?
Well, about this, wants to warn us that the constant contact with many different people affect our personality in a negative way and may change our personality. What about you, Gassos?
Gavafi strives to help us make our life better. And if we can't do it, then try as much as we can. And to keep and to stand out from the crowd and to keep our personality. And you, Adonis?
Well, in the poem, Gavafi says that people find obstacles in their lives and the goals they want to succeed. And because of their impassion, they do not achieve their aims, so they stay weak without changing their life as they want. The writer in the poem, knowing that no one has the ability of changing their life, gives a solution to the people. He says that since they can shape their life the way they want, they can try not to be brave. Furthermore, he points out that people should not be in the mass, because in that way, they do not stand out or be original, so their life loses its value.
How quickly was they speaking?
The basic science outlines of the leaders are really a blessing for them. The serenity is emphasized in the comparison to the monasteries of the white Benedictines, where the monks' detachment from the the outside world is completely song. Continued.
Now, this was their choice that when they spoke and presented, one of the teammates would be next to them, helping them out. That was their decision. Being there, supportive, and perhaps helping out with the courses.
In his description, Uranus narrates his welcome by the monks and the views he had looking at the monasteries of Mount Athos, with Baghdad being the high point.
After reading the whole text, the main feelings we get are calmness and peacefulness. No movements and sounds are present. The fact that brightness and colors prevail gives us the impression that nature is alive, while people seem not to be dead, but detached from the world, from the society. People and nature exist in harmony, but as it seems, monks have adapted to the pace of nature. All monks are content with their way of life. They don't care about drinking, sleeping, or eating. They are just happy with themselves. All the above help the writer represent this new way of life with excitement. Finally, the feeling of eternal exists in the whole text, especially in the fifth paragraph. Even if everything seems to change, everything remains the same. We get the feeling that everything has taken place in a second, that every paragraph happens in a nanosecond.
The writer is getting descriptive and tries to convey his own feelings. He uses relative adjectives, nouns, and phrases such as enchanted silence, light and peace, no melancholy, etc. Also, he uses words in order to express the feeling that nature is alive, time is endless, and that the beauty and the calmness of the world are dominant and not others. For example, words like serenity, hypnotic, mysterious help the writer to create a peaceful and harmonic mood. So, the readers feel contentment, peace, and serenity by reading Lawrence's thorough descriptions of landscape, nature, and natural life.
When I first had a look at Costas writing, I thought it would be a text which describes the beauty of modern Athens. However, when I read it, I realized the wealth of emotions that a single text can convey to you. Through it, you can see in the faces of the old exhausted monks peace and calmness, the divine serenity that can calm your soul. Also, the Byzantine church and the red walls can take you back centuries ago to another era that was pure.
Kostas, the last person, was so enthused, but he started off very, very reluctantly. He is now participating in our next project through Skype,
Yeah.
because he's doing his Erasmus.
And of course, here you see three other participants. They talked about Mount Athos Paschalis, who is present here. Benya and Yoda talked about Uranus, but we wanted in this in our presentation now to show you what they thought about the literature and what they think, how they evaluated the pieces of work they have worked on. But their participation was huge. They participated a lot, and Paschalis and Venya and Thomi participated in our next project, which is running right now. Right. Now, they
sorry, may I introduce this one?
no, before that. Okay, so they spent 3 months working on literature, on a project, on our idea. We spent 3 months on that as well. Do you think we have gained anything as teachers, as personalities?
The question is not if you gain, but the kids have gained. I think,
Yes,
you
but
know, what
you-
you gain.
yes,
It
but
goes both ways.
Yeah, it's probably like a satisfaction, I guess, that you got from what the kids presented. I think.
Yes,
that's
but apart from that,
You got to know them better, I guess.
A lot.
developed
A lot,
skill,
yes.
like more like
Yeah.
you became closer to the students.
yes, we set a goal and we achieved it. it's true. Anything else? Well, I can say it was a privilege that I participated in George's classes, sessions, the information that, the teacher training that I got was huge. His knowledge is huge. I really gained. He really helped me with the poem.
I'll watch later.
Yes, okay. The Seagull, I wouldn't have worked on it if it weren't for George. And this one, you can say that, we gained this piece.
After everything, one of the pupils that I showed you in the V2, I drew your attention to it, one day sent text message,
A message.
to Julia. And it was music that he was inspired, he got inspired by the poetry. He made his own music.
Yeah.
And that was perhaps the
So
greatest.
I gave this one. I was the first one who had
The composition.
yes.
Lovely.
Isn't that
It's
great?
really nice, yes.
Yes.
The
I was
fact
really-
that one, well, I won't
I
say
was
that
speechless. I was
Uh,
really
we are
speechless.
thankful to all, each and every one. But this one was an added gift.
Yes, an extra gift. I wasn't expecting that. We hear as much as we can. It's my favorite.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's- Everything is on YouTube.
Yes,
everything is-
I'll share with you later.
It's 14.
It's the poem that I have translated. I'm stealing him from Joe. He's coming into the C2 group now. Yeah, sure.
What's his name?
I'll be there.
Oh, she's there. She's always there.
What's his name? Huh?
Adonis.
It's Adonis. It's my new ringtone on my smartphone. Yes. It was a real gift. I stayed speechless, yes. So how did you find it? The only thing I could tell him was, I think that you will do the life that you want.
Does he go to music school?
No, he's got lessons, piano lessons, but he can't read notes actually, like Gibson said, he can't read notes. He can't read. And then he also composed, and the seagull as well.
Wonderful. You tell
Yes.
us. It's absolutely wonderful.
Yes.
It's magic. Tell me, you say he's 14.
Yes.
You say he can't read you. He cannot.
She has lesson, but he's a
He does
I'm
it by
not-
ear. He does it by ear, does he?
yes.
Yes, he's got to be very careful. If you don't learn to read music, you then have the problem that many musicians do have when they're later.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah, later with.
Well, they then want to compose.
Well, he said that I cannot give you the notes.
Mm.
It's I just can
Yeah,
play.
Somebody else can take, you know, and another musician can
Transcribe.
Yeah. So tomorrow, or everything will be in my. There will be a post with all the links of the videos and everything, and the music as well. You can listen to both pieces of music. What I want to say now that it's we're almost finished. Oh yeah. What else did I gain? I'm standing in front of you, sharing our experience of spreading literature into the world. And what I want you to do is, Despina, yes, they say dare to share. I would say dare them to share literature. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. And special thanks to Paschalis
Paschalis, Venya,
and Venya
please.
and Tommy.
We are very grateful.
We could bring the younger ones, obviously.